Malicious people. How do you deal with a malicious person? And let's look at the word malicious. Malicious means to be full of malice. Malice is the willingness and intent to inflict harm or suffering on someone else. Now, I myself cannot do that. I cannot purposefully inflict harm or suffering on someone else. That is not my goal. I may do things that hurt someone when I'm reactive or angry, but I don't sit down and think, I'm gonna be malicious towards this person to get back at this person. It's just not in my nature, and I'll bet it's not in yours. So malicious people are willing to hurt other people, and they do. They include people who are abusive, narcissistic, addicted, angry, self-centered, self-motivated, arrogant, greedy, immature, irresponsible, liars, mentally ill, emotionally broken, controlling, and evil. Some of those do that out of their brokenness. Some of those do that out of their inaccurate perceptions and worldviews and ways of looking at things. But some of those people are even our close family members that are willing to hurt us and are unconcerned about the effect that they have on us. So the problem is, though, that we can't change malicious people. We can't make them reevaluate their own willingness to be malicious. So we have to shift the focus, and we have to be willing ourselves to recognize the fact that there are some people who are, in fact, malicious. There's a word called goodwill, and goodwill means that I have a desire for goodness or good things in a relationship. I have goodwill. I want it to be good. I want it to be right. I do care. I'm willing to give. My intent is for goodness. Malicious people do not have goodwill. They have the opposite. They have a malicious will rather than goodwill. They wish bad things on you or on the relationship. When you're dealing with a malicious person, you can't point that out to him because he's not going to look at himself and say, oh, you're right, I have malicious, intent. If that comes, it'll come in a different way on, that person, God's timing in that person's life, but you're not going to be able to point that out to that person and have them say, oh my gosh, you're right. They refuse to consider their faults. They're defensive, they're blaming, they make excuses, they twist things around, they put it on you. You're not going to get anywhere having that conversation. So when you're dealing with a malicious person, you've only got a few alternatives. And that basically is to recognize the capability of that person, as hard as it is for you to believe. It could be your mother, could be your parent, could be your sibling. Oh, I have seen some cases of incredibly malicious sibling rivalry and sibling dysfunctional dynamics in family. And yes, they were absolutely malicious. I've seen examples of parents who were extremely malicious toward a child in the family, or the whole family gang up on one of the siblings. There is a capability for maliciousness even amongst family members. So rather than staying in denial, rather than hoping that these people or this person will change, recognize the capacity of this person to hurt you purposefully, intentionally, to harm you, and to be malicious. Once you have done that, then there's only one thing left, and that is you have a right and a responsibility to protect yourself and to prevent that person as much as possible from harming you and from being able to be malicious toward you. You have a right to protect yourself. You have a right to take care of yourself, and you don't have to just stand there and allow somebody to maliciously harm you and your family or your spouse or your children. You have a right to set a boundary and protect yourself. There's a few scriptures here. Psalm 73, 7-8 says, "From their callous hearts come iniquity. Their evil imaginations have no limit. They scoff and speak with malice. With arrogance, they threaten oppression. Does that sound like a malicious person? Okay, Proverbs 26:26 says, their malice may be concealed by deception, but their wickedness will be exposed in the assembly. So sometimes malicious people cover it up and they make it look good, but that doesn't change the fact that they're malicious. I hope you're not dealing with malicious people because it's not fun, but if you are, then I hope that this has helped you to see it clearly and will give you some motivation and clarity about how you have a right and responsibility to protect yourself. So thank you for watching this video on Change My Relationship.